viewers, welcome to Nagaland TV. This is Gargireka and you are watching the top stories of the hour. Two low-intensity explosions rocked the high-security technical area of Air Force Station in Jammu in the early hours of Sunday, leading to a major security scare. An official statement from the Defence PRO has been out, which stated that there was no damage to equipment in the area. But in the process, two Air Force personnel suffered minor injuries. The explosion took place within a span of 5 minutes, where the first blast ripped off the roof of a building at 1:37 a.m., while the second one was on the ground at 1:42 a.m. It was further stated that security agencies are looking into whether a drone was used to drop an IED payload using the airport's high security zone to trigger the blast. An FIR has been registered under the Anti-Terror Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, a stringent act that allows the detention of suspects for up to 6 months without any strong evidence. Speaking to the media, Gurmeet Singh, a defense expert, stated that taking the current scenario into consideration, there is a need to be alert and that security around the sensitive areas should be intensified.
There have been two low-intensity explosions in Jammu Air Force technical area, and this has happened on early Sunday morning. In fact, one of them has caused minor damage to the roof of the building, another exploded in the open area. Definitely there's a need to be alert, and Raksha Mantri ji has already inquired on the incident from the Vice Chief of Air Staff, and forensic team and the bomb disposal teams have already reached the site. In fact, it is also reported that probably two drones were used. Definitely, I think we need to be alert on this aspect of drone, and the security and protection of the sensitive areas installation is very important. But at the same time, I think it is important that protection of the sensitive area, alertness, and anti-drone drills have got to be absolutely sharpened to ensure.
In a chain of events after the arrest of Kundan Shinde and Sanjeev Palande by the Enforcement Directorate, a statement is out by the ED calling the two important cogs in the wheels of operation run by former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh, who is now facing charges of running a multi-crore bribery cum extortion racket. Shinde and Palande are close aides of Anil Deshmukh, while Shinde is his personal assistant, Palande is his personal secretary. The ED alleged that the two played a vital role in fulfilling Anil Deshmukh's demand of collecting rupees 100 crore per month for him by extorting bars and restaurants in Mumbai before a local court to seek custody of the duo. Based on its investigation, the ED said that it has found that Kundan Shinde was instrumental in collecting cash from Sachin Vaze on behalf of Anil Deshmukh, while Sanjeev Palande was instrumental in passing on instructions of Anil Deshmukh with regard to transfer and posting of police officers and collection of money from bars. Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand state polls are set to be held early next year, and in lieu to that, Bahujan Samaj Party's chief Mayawati tweeted this morning that the party will go solo. She dismissed media reports stating that the party plans of a possible tie-up with Asauddin Owaisi's led AIMIM in the state. Mayawati further underlined that her party has only announced a political tie-up with Shiromani Akali Dal for the Punjab polls, which are also to be held next year. The two parties have also finalized the seat-sharing agreement in the 117-member assembly, with SAD contesting on 97 seats and the BSP on 20. In a major development for the sports community in the state of Odisha, as many as 39 meritorious athletes from various fields have been inducted into the state police services. 30 of them are women athletes and 9 male athletes. Chief Minister Shri Navin Patnaik stated that the state is committed towards uplifting the state sports community and shall continue to develop sports in the state. Speaking at the induction event, the CM referred the youth as the future of the state and sports as a catalyst for developing positive behavior and good virtues. The CM also praised the achievements of the sportsperson from the state and stated that the state has been hosting international sports events successfully. Patnaik went on to appreciate the para-athletics and their contribution to the state. The CM also commented on the state's strategy, stating that Rs 1,000 crore has been allocated for the development of sports infrastructure, with special reference to the Roorkela Hockey Stadium, where the Hockey World Cup 2023 shall be held. The national capital recorded 85 new infections in the last 24 hours, which is the lowest daily rise in COVID cases since May 1st, 2020. The government, in reaction to this, has been easing pandemic restrictions over the last few days. From Monday, gyms and yoga centers have been allowed to reopen in Delhi with 50% capacity, an official government order said. The order also mentioned that banquet halls, marriage halls, and hotels have also been permitted to host weddings, with the number of guests to be capped at 50. But these fresh restrictions and set of relaxations came with strict warning by doctors and public health experts about the risk of a rapid unlocking and disregard for COVID protocols. The state of Tripura on Saturday witnessed a protest by various organizations who took to the road blocking in protest against the centre's 3 farms and proposed Electricity Amendment Bill 2020. The organizations included trade unions, women and student and youth affiliated to various leftist political groups. Opposition leader and present Chief Minister Manik Sarkar took part in the protest. CM expressed his solidarity with the agitating farmers who have been protesting for the last 7 months against the controversial farm laws and proposed Electricity Bill 2020, which is against the interest of the farmers in the country. The agitators, led by Deputy Speaker and Kisan Morcha leader Pavitra Kar, raised slogans against the centre with banner "Save Agriculture, Save Democracy." Ex-MP Shankar Prasad Datta also stated that the Narendra Modi regime is more severe than the national emergency declared during the tenure of late PM Indira Gandhi. He also said that Modi government is curtailing to the freedom of press and speech and people's voices against him. A World Health Organization representative to Russia, Melita Vujinov, said that vaccination along with safety measures are necessary when it comes to fighting the Delta Plus coronavirus variant. Just the vaccine is not enough for Delta. Masks are a must as Delta Plus variant of coronavirus is more infectious, according to experts. WHO earlier this month included the Delta variant in its list of variant of concern. That is all for now. Keep watching Nagaland TV for more news and updates.